So it's just funny to think about. But that's kind of like, hey, if you win the lottery, what do you do? You know? So back to the webinar, guys. This is the new member orientation webinar. This is super fun. Every single week on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, guys, this is my chance to kind of give you an introduction into MIC. That's funny, Bum Bum. And what we're going to do today, guys, is I'm going to teach you MIC first, and then we will go into the watch list and the small caps and maybe a Q&A with Alex later, and we will discuss everything from getting started in trading and, what it means to be a trader, things of that nature. I try to keep these very fun, kind of funny, very analytical webinars in the sense that I try to give you a lot of analogies that relate to real life because everybody's different, right? So I say something for, Travers and it's going to make more sense to Bomb Bomb, or I do, the inverse, and it's kind of like a free-for-all of information. Whoever gets it is going to get it. So that's just kind of how it goes. But today we're going to cover Alex's broker statements, which is obviously a big reason of why a lot of new members are here. Is Alex at the beginning of the year, guys, took an account from $35,000 in small caps, mostly small caps. He trades Tesla every now and then, things of that nature. But guys, he took it to $1 million, and that was the goal. So at the start of the year, having a 35K account and not adding to it and adding to it and adding to it with his own bankroll, but literally just building up to $1 million. It's not to celebrate Alex. It's to literally celebrate what we teach at MIC, because every single day, what got Alex to that account, guys, you have to understand is these are the same teachings that you guys do daily. So it doesn't matter if you're doing $200 a day or 2 million, it's the same lines. It's the same process, guys. Like, it's the same hot chicks. It's the same low hanging fruit. Like, it's always the same process of what we teach, of why you need to stay safe, what you need to pay attention to. So it's a lot of fun. So it's celebrating MIC, and that everything that we teach at MIC, like, legitimately has worked for 5 years, has worked before, and will continue to work because it's based on psychology and truly what has worked over the last, 100 years of the market. We're going to introduce the MIC team today: onboarding, content schedule, video library, proprietary trading strategies, pricing, brokers, how to start trading, Slack platform, and how to contact us. So first things first, let me go to our website really quick. I should have that up. Yep. So guys, if you're not a member yet, and I don't know, maybe the most recent sale didn't catch your attention, maybe you're just still on the fence, or you kind of want to see, there's a couple things. So first off, guys, text my line if you have any, immediate questions. I'll answer those. But book a free call. I think this is going to go a long way in the sense that I will literally block out, a time slot for you. We could see if MIC is for you, and get confident in your decision. Next is get the 1 hour free training, guys. You'd be crazy not to just put in your name and email and get this. So, welcome to the introduction of what we do. Alex will explain that. Alex's broker statements, if you guys want to take a look at that. Over the last 4 years, guys, Alex has turned, a little money into a lot of money, guys. Or actually, I think 4 years ago, he was still at a lot of money. But in the last 4 years, guys, broker verified, he's upwards of 8.3 million. So, I mean, you just can't make that stuff up. This is your main educator. Like, I'm not your main educator. I handle a lot of the back end stuff. I do these Wednesday webinars, but Alex is your main educator. Bao's your main educator, guys. Every single day, they're in the watch list channel. They're in the main trading chat, and they're teaching you how to do exactly what they're doing and what's getting Alex these results. So you have to understand how beneficial this is. And I'm here to point you in the right direction of how they do what they do. So really quick, I don't know if Steven's here today. Steven, are you here today, buddy? I think I might have to talk about, oh, he is. Awesome. Awesome. Hold on, guys. Let me bring on the main man for onboarding. Give me 1 second. Steven, there you are. 1 sec, guys. Just bringing him on. Promote the panelist. It's kind of like a process. All right, Steven, we should be able to hear you, buddy.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Cool. What's up, man? How you doing?
Dude, good week, man. Just meditating a lot, trying to visualize my future, and just trade these goddamn lines. How you doing, bro?
Not bad, man. I hit that ATNF offering today. It was pretty sick.
Oh, did you? Here, I'll pull that up for anybody looking. That was sick, dude. Hold on. ATNF. Bro, that was so sick. That's awesome, man. I saw that come out of nowhere. I was like, oh my God. Cause like the thing about something like this, bro, is like back in the day, I used to chase these. But like after this, man, if you didn't catch that, while you can make money down it, it's sometimes just too much of a gamble, man. Don't do it. So I was like, oh no. I didn't
Yeah,
get
I'm
it,
actually
so.
posting it now. Yeah, that was a kind of lucky one. And I hit one last week too. It was pretty lucky.
Nice.
I forget the name, GM something, but yeah, it's crazy market, man. I mean, it seems like it's heating up a lot for small caps. Like these things just keep coming, man. I don't know.
Yep.
It's
Well, it's Steven. It's like, bro, we won't teach right now because obviously this is
yeah, I
just
know.
onboarding. But you must have done MIC process. Where did the
Process
stock
every
go
day, man.
before?
Every day.
Oh,
Same thing every day, man. And I even
you
got a
know.
bunch of ads and size on it too. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice, bro. Very
So
nice,
yeah, can't complain. Process.
dude. Tell me, there's a meetup today,
So
right?
we're doing, yeah. So I've only got maybe 15 minutes or so. So we're doing a kind of lunch thing in here in Dublin in the Bay Area. So any members, if you guys want to join, I posted all the details in after hours a couple minutes ago.
Yep.
But yeah, it's in Dublin, and it's kind of like a part two of what we did Saturday. Saturday we had a cool meetup. I'll post some pics. We had a cool meetup here in Milpitas in the Bay Area. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. Like, I don't know, probably 15-ish or so came out. And we had some, pizza and hung out for a couple hours.
I
It's a lot
saw
of
the
fun.
pics, man. Looks super fun. But like, okay, guys. So like, if you're around, there's go today. Go today. There's an event today in person. So I highly recommend meeting Steven, getting out there, and again, seeing what traders are doing.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like, a lot of guys are like, oh, I actually had a trader call right before this, and the members like, I love looking at charts, and my wife thinks I'm nuts, and I'm like, that's how everybody thinks we're nuts, except for us, So it's good to get to know other traders.
I still think traders are nuts. I've been a trader for a decade.
I know we're all nuts, but it's our passion. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So,
Well, Steven, I since you're pressed for time, brother, here, let's just kick off the onboarding. So if there's a lot of brand new members because they joined with the sale recently, the promotion to Alex, reaching that milestone, what does everybody do, man? Instead of just DMing people randomly, like, what are these steps? I'm brand new. What do I do?
sure thing. So when you guys first join, you're going to get welcomed into our after hours channel. There's 3 moderators, myself, Edson, and Nancy, who are heading up the onboarding program. So basically, we are here to guide you guys step by step through this onboarding process and to answer any questions you guys have, to get you guys fully up to speed, and so you guys have a great understanding of what we're doing and what's going on. So basically, we'll send you by DM, direct message, these 10. Actually, sorry, we just updated, and I'll go over the last step when I get there, but we've got 11 steps now. So we send you this 11-step onboarding program. We've got a new member channel. In that channel, you guys can ask questions. You could request the next steps. You could DM us direct. You could even set up a phone call, whatever you guys want to do. We're here to personally guide you through this onboarding process. So the process goes, and again, this will come to your DM. These are kind of videos that you guys follow. The first one is navigation and education. The navigation is just that. It'll kind of show you the ins and out of, Slack and kind of what we're doing here and how you find all the basic stuff. The education part is our accelerator course. And that's about an 8-hour course on kind of the A through Z on trading, all the basics and a little bit more advanced stuff. It's meant to take somebody who doesn't know anything about trading to being able to actually place their first trade by the time they're done. So that's the longest video of the onboarding. Everybody's like, oh, I watched it. It was a lot. But the next ones are a lot easier. We've even got Nancy put together a kind of quiz and some notes that you guys could kind of like a study guide that you guys can follow along with that. So when you guys finish the quiz, feel free to post it also in the new members channel. Next is simulator training. That's step 2, and that's basically paper trading. And that's to kind of give you guys a feel for, what it's like to place trades and follow the plans and all that kind of stuff. Then risk management, and that's a plan that we'll send you guys. And that's basically, hard stops always. We always make sure that members have and press members to have max daily losses set up with your broker, max shares, and all that kind of stuff. So the only amount of money that you guys are willing to lose, that's all you should ever lose on any given trade. And that brings me to step 4, which is planning your trades in the discipline workshop. And in this workshop, we're focused on posting your plans. And then after you guys execute your plans, you post your executions, your charts. Then if you deviated at all, you get a loss on a calendar. If you stuck to the plan, you get a win. And the idea is you judge your days by how well you stick to your plans, not by your P&L. And usually what ends up happening is people are like, hey, the only days I had, losses or bigger losses were days that I deviated from my plan. Surprise, surprise, right? So that's kind of what we're teaching in there. The habits that you guys will need to make in this game, and that's in the discipline workshop. Next is using the watch list to make money. So every morning, Alex and Tom will post their trade ideas. And those are basically the tickers that they're watching, the levels that they want to see hit for them to enter their trades, why they want to see them hit, what their kind of overall thesis is on the trades. And they also tell you what to avoid. And if a short is telling you to avoid something, then as a long, that usually means that might be a good one to pay attention to. So you could kind of reverse engineer these as well. And we do have some long mods posting in there from time to time as well. Next is the study curriculum. Next is resources for long biased traders. And that's because, we've got a lot of stuff for shorts, but we also have channels and courses and resources for longs. So we just want to make sure that you guys know what those are. Step 8 is the tab program. And that's basically teaming you up with a trading accountability buddy. And that's somebody that, you guys could study together, you could trade together, you could kind of learn the ropes together and, kind of watch each other's backs. Then you've got additional questions and moderator phone calls and DMs. And that's just that, anything related to the onboarding, feel free, like I said, DM us or post in the new member channel. Once you get past that, you guys are welcome to, set up phone calls, ask questions to the community and after hours. We're all here to help you. That's the whole, idea behind MIC is, once we get up there a little bit, we send the elevator back down and help the newer guys. Then our newest step is fun stuff. And maybe just because it's new, I should actually post this one. So basically this step is kind of like, hey, we've kind of taught you guys, the basics of what we're doing, but Alex and I just added this on yesterday, and I'm going to post it right now. So this one is pretty much based around engagement. This is like, okay, now you know all the basics of getting onboarded, but now, like, where do I go for the fun stuff? Where do I go for the webinars, meetups, and all that kind of fun stuff, right? So this step, and I just posted it in the webinars channel. This one there's 3 parts to it. There's meet the community, and that's in after hours. And that's obviously where you guys could network, chat, hang out, talk about trading or your hobbies or whatever you guys want to talk about, what movies you like, what's for dinner, kind of like the beginning part of this webinar, right? It's like all the fun stuff. Yeah. So next is the live webinars. And we just wanted to make sure you guys know what those are and where those are at. So if you guys click that link, you could see the schedule. We do live webinars almost daily, but it's like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and once a month on Saturdays. And you guys could join, ask questions. That's all live and interactive here in the webinars channel. Then finally, like we kind of touched on earlier, is meetups. One thing we're going to start doing a little bit more is posting in the meetups channel that you guys can host meetups. If anybody wants to ever host a meetup, just post a request in the meetups channel and I'll reach out to you and we can talk about it. We will help you organize it, plan it, and MIC will even pay for it. So, if you guys want to get active, you could do that. Even if you just want to meet like a couple members nearby, you found them on the members map. You say, hey, there's my tab. I want to have, whatever lunch. Just let us know and we'll help you out and we'll, pay for it. So that's pretty much it. Members map is also that last link. And that's just the map showing everybody, where you guys are, put your username on the map, and we could kind of reach out to you when we're nearby doing meetups and you guys could network. So that's pretty much it. Hope the new step works out.
That was awesome, man. I don't want to keep you, Stephen, because I know you have to go host the meetup, but dude, thank you so much for coming on and explaining all that. And as Stephen said, guys, just, this is the power of community, is actually getting to know people and taking all these steps and taking it really seriously. And like the last thing I'll leave, Stephen with is, which he'll agree is, because we talked about this so many times, is like this this really does start as a hobby for a lot of people and then legitimately becomes a career. So like if you come in with the mindset of I'm going to treat this like a career, you get career results. But if you treat it like a hobby, guys, you do get hobby results. So follow all these steps, go meet Steven if you're close and see what it really means to do this every single day for years to come. And that can be you. And as long as the stock market's going to be here, we're going to find an edge to exploit the stupidity on the other side to make us money. Like that's welcome to be a trader. So, you know, Steven's really good at explaining that and specifically in person. So please go see him.
Exactly. As long as 90% of traders, or I should say recreational traders, are lazy, then hey, there's always going to be a spot for us who are willing to put the work in and trade. And if you're not an MIC and you think you can do it on your own, you're either going to probably learn the hard way, or you've probably already learned the hard way. And I would say join a community of guys with the same passion where we could teach you and we could all help each other out.
Absolutely, dude. Awesome.
Cool. Awesome.
Steven, thanks so much for coming on, man. We will. Good luck with the meetup today, dude. Send pics, and bro, we'll see you next week.
Sounds good, bro. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great one. Thanks,
you too,
guys.
man. See you, buddy.
See ya.
Yeah, guys, Steven said something that was so unbelievable at the end right there. He said, like, here's the thing about doing this, you know, learning trading on your own, because the thing about trading, which is so different from any industry, is it's so accessible. So all you need is a broker. They don't really do background checks. They don't really know if you're financially literate. They don't know if you're good with money. They don't know if you've got like a gambling history if you don't know anything. So it's really easy to get a broker. And then it's really easy to click the buy or the sell button or the short and the cover. So because it's so accessible, you have to go above and beyond to fight that compulsion. And like literally, this is why there's Debtors Anonymous or Gamblers Anonymous. Like you have to fight the compulsion of everybody's doing it. Let me just run in and try it myself. Like the thing about this industry, guys, is if the analytics are correct, where 90% of traders fail, or say 95, which is probably the real analytic behind it. If that truly is true, you have to understand that you are literally fighting an impossible game without correct mentorship from the 5 or 10% who do this correctly, who know how to exploit an edge, and who've been, you know, proving that for a very long time. You know, Bao's been involved since stock trading, which taught Alex, you know, taught me, taught every single moderator at MIC. He's been in this game for 20 years since stocks were in, you know, fractions versus decimals. So there's really something to be said, because if you don't learn how to get past just the, what's up, Tom? You know, the fact that it's so accessible. So let me click a couple buttons and, you know, actually learning discipline or learning how to navigate and where to navigate, it's going to make all the difference in the world. And it's kind of like what Steven was saying. I'm like, yeah, you might lose your ass, but like, honestly, guys, the thing that I'm not worried about in the beginning is a trader losing his ass. Like, I'm not worried about that, because money's easy. Look, you can make money again. Money comes in. It's your time, dude. If you don't join MIC and you try to do it you're going to tread water for 2, 3, 4 years. It's not the money. Money comes and goes all the time. Welcome to life. You can't get your fucking time back, dude. That's the real currency that you're losing. That's funny. Let me go to the website. You guys make me laugh all day, but let me go to the website. So there's a couple of things I want to show you here. And the first one is going to be the content schedule. So if you're brand new to MIC, guys, welcome. Obviously, I can't say that enough. We have a lot of new members this week. Right now, every single week, and we've been doing this for 5+ years, we have a content schedule that we very much curated, you know, all together. You know, we all put our heads together and was like, what would be, you know, very beneficial for members. And we have a really good structure. So listen to this. So if you're brand new, here's how to navigate. Every single Monday, Alex is going to do a YouTube live, or it's going to be pre-recorded, but it's going to be a really good video explaining price action, explaining everything you need. And that's going to be 11 a.m. Eastern on Monday. So be ready for that, guys. You can see the YouTube links, or you can see the link posted in chat for our members. Tuesday, Bao does an IG live. He could be traveling to Vietnam. He could be in Sacramento where he lives. Like, you never know, but Bao's going to do an IG live, in which case he's going to extrapolate all the stuff that Alex did on Monday and then teach you what it means to be psychologically a trader as well. Now, it's not that Alex doesn't talk about psychology and Bao doesn't talk about price action. It's just, if you were to boil it down at the end of the day, Alex is a price action guy. Bao is a psychological teacher. So they're both good at both, but Bao is so good at explaining what it means to be a trader for 20 years, which he is, if not more, and what it means to see trends, what it means to exploit edge, and what it means to evolve and grow as a trader and figure out what your footing is. It's like what I was saying earlier, guys. Like, I've been a trader for, I think I'm going on an 8.5-year anniversary, and like, My style has very much evolved over the years based on what I was comfortable with. So you're always going to find your footing or sharpen the tool better and just get more accustomed to who you are in this game. Like there's so many different personalities. So Val's going to kind of exploit that and teach you that. 7 p.m. Eastern at night, Joe does a mid and large cap webinar in the sense that Joe is very good at, a different niche. So while small caps are very much their own island, big caps and options guys are very different. And I do both and I know both, but let me tell you something. In the beginning, it's daunting as hell and you should not do both. You should learn one, master it. And then if you have time to learn the other, absolutely, and you have a proclivity to learn all these different setups, then do so. But guys, it takes time. So I wouldn't recommend trying to do options, small caps, big caps in the beginning. What's up, TJ? But I would recommend honing in on one, setting your targets on that, and really giving it your all. And then again, you can always learn more later. But that's what Joe teaches at Tuesday nights. Obviously, every single Wednesday, guys, I am here with you. This is pretty much all I have time for on the front end, given 2023 and what we do with the business. But we are always creating on the back end and making sure that this business is efficient, as streamlined, as big as it can be, so you guys can you can extract the most amount of value as a member. But if you guys need me, obviously you can still send me DMs and everything like that, of course. But I'm here every single Wednesday, and I always will be, to make sure that you're up to speed, new members can get acclimated. And again, what does it mean to just keep going through this? So Thursdays, Aloha Trader is going to do a market sentiment webinar, in which case, guys, he's big caps oriented, he's small caps oriented. He is going to teach you a bunch of different ambidextrous styles. And it's really cool when you're new to kind of flush out what those are and those questions that you don't even know how to ask yet. It's really good to attend these webinars. I'm going to show you who Aloha is in a second, as per my slideshow. So while we have nothing on the books technically for Friday and Sunday, there's always stuff going on, and I'll show you what's going on. But we just did last week, and it was a banger. It was so fun. But we, on Weekend Mentoring, what's up, guys? Let me read this out. On the first Saturday of every month, which was obviously last week, at 1 p.m. market time, we have a 1-hour Q&A session open to all Weekend Mentoring channel members. So like Harry, myself, David were on last week. The first half hour will be member chart reviews. So submit your charts, guys, like Angel and all the guys who submitted this last week. So thank you for that. And what we'll do is we'll decipher them, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, how you can get better, and what you should be focusing on as going forward, just based on good habits and things like that. Complete this form if you want to submit your charts for review, so we can do that. No, Video Games TV, not Dublin, Ireland, Dublin, California. There was a meetup going on today. I'll just kind of hold on one sec, guys. Where was that? Was it after hours? Yeah, so it's right here, guys, if you want to attend the meetup. Dublin Boulevard, Dublin, California. Definitely not Dublin, Ireland, man. I don't know what's going on over there. Probably just a bunch of binge drinking. I'm Irish, so I can probably say a couple things, but yeah. So that's that, guys. That's the content structure, and that's what I want you to focus on. Now, if I go back, I want to introduce you to a couple people on the team. So while this is not our full team whatsoever, we have a ton of junior mods, that help all freaking day. These are at least your main points of contact, that if you have you're a new member and you have a question, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? How can I navigate? Can I get a little help? Maybe even a trader call. So we teach small caps, big caps, options, and swing trading. That's a myriad of possibilities, guys. That's a plethora. That's a lot of avenues to learn. But again, when you're new, you're going to want to focus on one, maybe two, but usually just one at the beginning. Now, let me kind of specify who your points of contact are depending on what you're looking to learn. So you come in and you're like, well, I really like what Alex is doing daily, and I just identify with, your pronouns are small cap short selling. And I hate pronouns, guys. I'm pretty much dogging out. But the point is, if you want to learn small cap short selling, the people who you're going to want to contact are James Freelander, Tom Diesel, who's Tom N, Ashraf, who goes by the bear in chat, or Steven, who caught the offering today. Which we were talking about, and he does onboarding. So these are going to be your points of contact for small cap short selling. Now, let's say you come in and you're like, all right, well, I don't have a broker that's good for short selling. I don't really have those resources yet. Let me kind of work my way up and let me learn the long side. That's okay, guys. And that's absolutely probably the way you should start in general. I don't think people should just run to short selling whatsoever. I think that you should do what everyone usually does, is go, let me learn how to buy and sell these bastards so that I know the right time of when the selling stops and then they come down and then shorts enter. So I think it's actually really good to learn the long side first, whether you actually trade it or not, you know, a simulator, or you just watch and learn it. But it's really, really key to know both sides and know exactly what each side is thinking. Hence what we'll talk about later when I identify the watch list tick for tick, and maybe Alex come on and we'll describe exactly what that means to kind of exploit an edge and see how to navigate. But if you guys are long traders in small caps, you're going to want to contact Austin and you're going to want to contact Harry. Now, let's say you come in and you're like, dude, big caps is it. I want to swing trade big caps, or I just want to be a part of big caps or options. Joe Kelly and Oren are going to be your points of contact there. And we actually have a subsequent room. So guys, while the main trading chat is where the small caps happen, as you guys can see, you know, scroll like Diego, wow, really, really nice job on the long side of small caps. It looks like, oh, long and then short. Nice. This is where these small caps happen. So like Bao and Tom Diesel and Alex are educating in here all day. You know, Bao's hitting IFRX and you know, doing the damn thing and educating and warning and making sure you guys are up to speed. Large cap and options is where, you know, large cap and options are. So we have it very segmented. We have it very organized. We are not one of those communities, guys, like as you can see, TQQQ. We're not one of those communities where you are going to want to pile in everything in one main chat. Everybody speaks out all this garbage bullshit commentary, including ourselves. Like, hey, just because you're a moderator or just because you're a mentor at MIC does not mean you should just randomly talk about stupid stuff. Like, this is business, guys. We have channels for fun and we have channels for networking, and that's after hours. So posting meetups, talking about fun stuff, posting some funny memes and gifs, like there's a place and a time for that. Like, here's a past meetup, Bao, Alex, myself, and an Aloha trader, freaking we call him Tarzan. But the point is there's a time and a place, and we want MIC to be really, really streamlined. Because guys, the most important thing in life, and it's not money, it's not anything, it's time. So I don't want you wasting your time. That's why I do these webinars every single week, to make sure that MIC is even a fit for you. I'm not here to market you guys all day and try to sell MIC, which is my company. I am here to make sure that our mission statement and our resources and what we teach are actually something you want to be a part of. Like, there's a lot of soul and like kind of love associated with it, not to get corny or whatever, but guys, this is a real community and I want it to be real for you. And if you don't feel like it is, then I wish you the best, but this is a real community where people are really striving to be better people, not just better traders. There's a whole community behind this. So, you know, we stand for a lot, not just, hey, let's make the most amount of money. I mean, that's obviously welcome to trading, and that's a big part, but there's so much more than just making money, man. So video library, let me kind of talk about this for a second, guys. I know some of you are probably confused coming into Slack and be like, hey, Tosh, where are the videos? The videos are on the website, guys. So this is the chat room with the main trading chat and all the subsequent channels to learn what's going on live, but all of the recorded stuff and all of our actual content where you guys can really learn and watch videos. And Alex, this was the webinar where Alex, you know, was talking about how he turned his 35K into 1 million in 55 trading days. This is where the video library is in most of our content. So the first thing that you're going to do is get, obviously, you know, look through a bunch of random videos, guys, get a little acclimated and just kind of see how the video library works. But then once you identify what you're looking to learn, whether it's FOMO, I always give this example because we all suffer with this. I mean, dude, I'm not joking. I know this is like kind of like laughable, but FOMO is a universal emotion. I get FOMO on freaking dating apps, dude, let alone trading. I get FOMO with watches. My buddy gets a watch and I want to get another watch, you know, like, dude, FOMO lives in us no matter what, man. Your friend starts doing a bunch of push-ups. You're like, oh shit, I got to get my body in check. Welcome to FOMO, fear of missing out. So welcome to trading. You know, it's very strong in trading. This is one of the most common traits. We have a bunch of videos on how to mitigate and deal with FOMO and, you know, pages and pages of it. And depending on what you're looking to learn, whether it's a proprietary trading strategy like the first bounce that we teach or the death line short or whatever would have you, you can now search that and watch exactly what you're looking for. Now, if you scroll down, what you're going to see is there is an actual curriculum that you guys need to watch and focus on if you do want to cut your learning curve just the lowest possible, guys. And at the end of the day, save your most, like, I can't say this enough, save your most important resource, which is not your money, it's your time. How can you get there the quickest? And we have identified that. So start with the accelerator course. Most of you signed up, probably have access to this. Start this today, immediately. This is where you start. Then you go get starting into the curriculum, and this is going to be the best videos for you that are when you're brand new, guys. So like, why do we even trade small caps? What are they? They're dilution machines. What's a pump and dump? Why are people behind these? Is there an agenda? What is a big cap? We're trading on, secrets on how to actually take a loss. Why are we proud of our losses? Why do we take losses? Well, you're in an industry where you can't win every trade. Welcome to trading. You're a high stakes risk taker. What happens with risk? Sometimes you lose. But if you know how to mitigate that loss and you know how to wrangle it and keep it, under your watchful eye, you're going to go really far. And honestly, guys, look, I'll just say it very clearly. I can't say it any more clear than this. Bao, Alex, and myself have been traders for, well, between the three of us, I guess, like 3.5 decades, but, okay, we'll just say 35 years between all of us. The only reason is because we figured out how to take losses. If we just added to our position every single day, all day, until we eventually blow up our accounts, like, you're not here anymore. So you got to get comfortable with figuring out how to take a loss. And this is the type of stuff that we teach. So let's say every 10 trades you take, if 3 of them are losses, but you mitigated it really quick, or maybe even 2 or 1 are, especially if you're following our, watch list every morning, which are so good, those losses are going to be completely manageable. And then on a general consensus and a P&L curve or a just trading curve over time, you're going to see it exponentially go up and go parabolic one day because you have these losses under control. And that's a very big part of it. Okay. Last part is phase study guide. The best videos on basics, the best videos on MIC process, the best videos on how to draw lines, VWAP, everything from the low-hanging fruit strategies, the death candle, my personal favorite. I gave a webinar on that. Go watch that. First red day, first bounce, all of these things in this nature, guys. This is going to be your way to navigate. And then the last things last, I should say, this is exclusive to lifetime members, guys. If lifetime members didn't have some type of exclusivity to some type of, then there would be no difference from other, tiers like annual or monthly. But this is lifetime exclusive. So if you guys want access to this, all you got to do is upgrade, just DM me or whatever. But point is Alex does record his trades live and then adds audio commentary after. So like on this day, you can actually see him pull the trigger on like $67,000 win on, what was it, ETNB. And then he goes in and talks about like the dilution explained or what he was thinking in the trade. And it's just a really cool video series that takes us, to be honest, a lot of time and money to do. They're quite hard to make, but we do that for you guys because they are making a big difference and we want to keep doing stuff like that. So give us ideas, guys, for more content, for what you want to see, and we will absolutely keep doing it. Okay. Tab referral program. I don't like harping on this too much, guys, because it kind of sounds kind of gimmicky. It's totally not. Every company in the world has affiliates. We are too. So again, just go to this part of the website. If you guys want to make money outside of, making money in the markets, look, you guys scratch our backs, we'll scratch yours. I can't say it any more simply than that. Like Nike has affiliates, Amazon has affiliates, so do we. If you guys bring us people, we'll incentivize you to do so and take care of you. So, read through that, see how much you can earn by referring, say, 10 friends, $2,500 a month, especially if they renew, et cetera, guys. I showed you that. Let's go through. Okay, here is why we're all here. Tosh, how do I even become a trader? How do I make this a living? How do I get started? What does MIC do that other people are not focusing on? And simply put, guys, we accentuate process. And the thing about process is a very much back-tested strategy that works so you can keep coming into the market every single day with the same criteria, the same plan, the same setups, and know that you have a really good chance of making money and have a full-on life routine around it. And the thing about process that is like the bread and butter, the nucleus, the lifeblood, the veins of the body is the lines. And we have lines within first bounce, the first resistance, the death line short, the first red day, the low-hanging fruit. And it's all just predicated around lines, and lines are process. So obviously process is a culmination of a lot of things like, what is overhead? What is VWAP? Where's the money flow? Is this a low hanger? Is this a hot chick? How many people are stuck in the stock? What's the volume look like? What's the sentiment? Like, these are things all encompassing in process, but the thing that's going to make the most sense and is going to be your first identifier is what is the lines. When you know the lines, you are the fish in the ocean swimming around the sharks and staying safe and just letting the big money just trail around while you clean up as much as you can, being a retail trader and not some big hedge fund or institution. So it's a way for you to go, oh, wait a second, I'm navigating these waters. Here comes a tsunami. I'm still going to stay safe and make money. Or as a fish, I don't know, feed for the day and, get by safe. But it's all predicated on lines. And then if you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can go into pivot points, which are accentuated longer time frame lines, which are obviously support and resistance points. So if you guys have any questions about joining, you haven't joined yet, all you got to do is text my line, guys, annual and lifetime membership. Basically just text my line, and then that's me. And then you can book a call on the website like I showed you a little bit earlier. So please do so, and then we can answer your questions. But okay, last thing on this is brokers. We have 2 partnerships with brokers. And the first one is, guys, this is the most retail-friendly broker in the freaking game. The best broker I've seen in 10 years. Val's seen in 20. And this is Success Trader, which we have a partnership with, and Trade Zero. So MIC members are going to save 50% off commissions being with Success Trader and MIC simultaneously. There's 50% off rates for MIC members at 0.002 a share, and rebates, guys, this is where they come in. This is why they're kings. Rebates that can be higher than your commissions using the MICL route at 0.0025 a share using the MICL route, which obviously stands for My Investing Club Limit route. 7 built-in locate providers, more coming soon, early locate availability starting at 4 a.m. And guys, I get this question every single day. Yes, we do not sponsor or we do not promote something that our mods or Bao, Alex, myself don't use personally, like literally. So while I don't have a Trade Zero account, guys, while Tom Diesel might or a bunch of other mods, we know that they're good. So that we don't promote something that's either bad or none of us use. But yes, I get this question every single day. Tosh, does Bao and Alex actually use Success Trader? Yes, they do. Success Trader only live trading events, direct market access, industry-leading customer service, advanced routing options. The minimum, guys, yes, while you have the Rolls Royce of brokers, it is pay to play, 30,000 minimum. They don't want to deal with PDT rule. I don't blame them. International minimum is 50,000, and you're going to DM Broker Liaison. I think he's, all right, if he's not here, I'll show you real quick. You just go to Broker Talk, guys, in the chat. And this is going to be the gentleman to contact. And then, send him a message. Just ask him questions on, hey, David, I want to open a Success Trader. Can you help me with that? He'll get you in touch with everybody at Regal, cs@regalsecurities.com, which is Success Trader, guys. So just email them. Be sure to mention MIC for perks. But yeah, so just email them, and this is going to be your point of contact. International broker, guys. I know not everybody has. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let's see what IFRX is doing. 1 second, guys. I do want to take a look. Yep. Yeah. See, guys, what I was saying? I drew these lines, man, at the beginning of the webinar. I said it's going to be a very key resistance level, and it might be hard to break out. 1 second. Let me just remove these. 1 sec. Oop. How do I clear all of them, you bastards? There we go. Yeah, guys, this is really key. Base, wicks, it was anywhere in that area is big resistance on these journey back. So there's no like, obviously there's no rocket science behind why I put a major top here, but here's the point. At this late in the day, you're running out of a short edge. So, while we don't necessarily teach shorting in the last day, meaning like we don't advocate it, sometimes it's better just wait for tomorrow, but this could absolutely do something crazy and blow off. It could. It's still up there. So just be careful, guys. I'm not giving you a recommendation of, buy, sell, short, or cover. What I am saying is pay attention to where the key magnet levels are of resistance and support. And this is why lines are so important. This area right here for scales was where if you were going to short, especially during reversal hour, especially during, any type of midday trading, except the last hour, is where you have a definite edge, or at least it might be worth taking a shot. So these are things to take into consideration. This is the stuff that we teach every single day. But going back, guys, going back. So international broker is our broker of choice is Trade Zero. New clients get 6 months 0 pro free and 10% off locates with a 10K minimum. And then existing clients get their platform for 3 months 0 pro free and 10% off with the 10K minimum. And all you're going to do, guys, is DM in the broker talk, like I just showed you for Bobby, David Bobby, is Morgan at Trade Zero Inc. You're going to DM them to get a Trade Zero. So book a call. All right, so check this out, guys. We are in the Slack channel right now. This is our actual chat room. So first things first, you want to do it every single morning, guys. This is where it all happens. This is where it all happens every single morning. If you're brand new, there's nothing you should be focusing on but the written freaking Dead Sea Scrolls of what Alex is writing every single morning, guys. This is what you have an edge on. And man, like while this was today, guys, I know watch lists aren't usually this much action, and we have a lot to talk about today, especially if Alex doesn't have time to come on, but holy shit, like there was a lot going on. Like they're not usually this freaking active, but they are super active. So, this is where the edge is. We'll talk about that in a second. We take it to the main trading chat. This is where, Tom gets super funny with stuff. And yeah, literally, that's so funny. This is where the education happens, guys, for small caps. Then, like I said, with the channel large cap and options, if you're not a small cap trader, it's within here. After hours is exactly what it sounds like, guys. Post your food, post your girlfriend if you want, post your boyfriend, post your husband, post your wife, post your backyard, post whatever you want. This is where you get to network and meet your fellow community. Like one of our mods, Vic, is making a visit to Mount Etna today. That's sick. Like lava flows. How cool. Yeah, share your experience, man. It's a community. Chart recaps and fills, guys. Post your charts in here. Keep it organized. Keep it streamlined for us, please. Disciplinary workshop. This is where Steven keeps a lot of our members accountable. So you'll see members in here posting their wins, posting their losses, and keeping themselves accountable. And it's really cool, guys. I always kind of like to think that Discipline Workshop is kind of like an AA program, like follow the 12 steps. Like, dude, it literally is. It's like you are going to hold yourself accountable so much that you're going to take it so much more seriously, especially because you're sharing intimate details about your trading journey, that it might produce a lot of results, man. Get sober, trading, it's funny, man. But new member channel, guys. This is where a lot of new information is for new members. A lot of stuff. If I go to the Trading Accountability Buddy channel, this is a great place to say, oh, I love what Snowden just did. Hey guys, hey MIC new here, located in the San Francisco area, the Bay Area, looking for et cetera, et cetera. So it's really cool to come in here, guys, and just say, I want to trade with somebody. I want to learn with somebody. Is somebody willing to be my tab partner, my trading accountability buddy, and that we can grow together, or we can learn together, or whatever would happen. But this is a great channel to do so. Webinars, obviously, this is just the yes, seriously. This is just the webinar, guys, channel where you obviously get links and stuff. Announcements is downloadable content, so you can download like, time-based trading in a nutshell. I put that together 5 years ago. One thing that helps brand new traders really good is this is my full process, especially when I was 100% small caps. This is what process is, guys. It's shorting 101. I have some past examples in there of what outer lines are, how to navigate, how to use them, introductory setups. They'll really help you. Let's see. Daily report cards, track your trades, download the daily report card, post your trades, track your progress. Very key. Kind of like the disciplinary workshop, but yeah, get that template in there. Direct messages down here, which I clean out, obviously during this webinar and before, and then, well, mostly just before. And then your icon right here, guys, click this. While this is mine, T Bradley 90, you're going to click profile, you're going to click edit, and you are going to be edit your profile. So T Bradley 90, Tosh Bradley, whatever you want, guys, remove or upload an image, make it yours. It's super fun. Make your profile. It's almost kind of like on Twitter. It's like, hey, put your NFT and make it your Twitter profile. It's like, do whatever you want, man. Just keep it PG-13, guys. Come on. Let's see. Okay. Guys, can you still hear me? Am I still on? Okay, am I back now? Weird. Yeah, it cut out for a second. That was crazy. Oh man, I hope it stays up. Weird. Yeah, it's been happening all morning, man. It's been weird. Okay, guys. So, like, really quick, just going back. Like I said, IFRX ran today. This is a way to filter out the noise. So, this is a really good way to go back after work, or every single night, and just be like, "What was Alex talking about? What was Bao talking about? What was Tom Diesel talking about? What was some of the members talking about?" And that's a way to filter out a specific ticker. Now, let's say that you wanted to filter out exactly what Alex was saying. Just look him up. So, boom. This is exactly his commentary today based on whatever channel he's in. So as you guys can see, main trading chat, things like that. So really freaking cool, man. Really, really cool. Let's see. I think that's everything, guys. So let me see if, yeah, that's the tutorial. Let me see if Alex is available. 1 second. Let's see, guys. I don't know. I know Alex he was maybe able to come on today. He was dealing with some trading and some stuff. Let me see. I'm texting him right now. I hope he is. Okay, cool. Yeah. 1 sec. Yeah, he's gonna try to come on in 20 minutes, guys. So he's doing something right now, but he's like the busiest guy in the freaking universe, man. I'm telling you. We need clones of Alex. I don't know how. He's like Gary Vee, man. Gary Vee and Grant Cardone are like the two hardest working guys on the internet. Alex has to be the third. So, all right, what we're going to do is what I do every single week before we bring on Alex. And guys, we're going to go through the watch list. So we're going to show you how to look at Edge. And then I don't need that. I'll just go through every single one. I was going to say I could get the update and what Alex was mostly focused on, but honestly, let's just go through every single one. And I think we're going to have time to do so. So check this out. Let me start. So hopefully, up until now, every single new trader who's a part of MIC, which was a lot this week, knows how to navigate MIC. That's the whole purpose of the first part of this webinar. Second part is to talk about foundation. Hold on. 1 second, guys. All right, so I am finally recording, and what we're going to do is we are going to discuss the watch list for today and talk about foundational trading and the basics. Okay, so first things first is a lot of new traders going to be like, what are lines? What is day one? What is day two? What is time-based trading? Which we talk about every single day and building good habits, but let's discuss a couple and specifically what was running today. So, okay. BFRG, looking for a morning pop towards 6, 620, 650, and 7. So I'm going to draw those lines for you real quick, and I'm going to try to talk a little bit, for newer traders today versus just everybody. But so bear with me, members who are like, Tosh, you're really, talking to a new guy. Let me try. I'm going to try to, really talk to the new guy as well. So, yeah, literally, that's him. So, guys, time-based trading and day-based trading are a massive thing in MIC process. And we kind of coined this, and we kind of were the guys who made this very repeatable. And this is why MIC is so repeatable, in the sense that you really have to understand where your edge is based on what time or what day. And the way to go about this is every single day on day one is, unless it's unbelievably broken, you have to understand. Oh, let me pull this up again. You have to understand, I'll just kind of block that out for the recording. It's a little distracting, but on day ones, guys, day ones are usually for long. So what is a day one? A day one is the start of a new catalyst. And just because something ran a week ago doesn't mean it can't have a new day one a week later if it is kind of a new catalyst or it's up for no reason. And now you have volatility back in the stock. So meaning it's all about what is happening, right? What is happening on day one? Well, a stock is up, and a lot of the times these things need to find their footing, and they need to find their price discovery. And that's exactly what BFRG did. So while this was pretty much day one, even though it ran after hours, this is pretty much day one. By the time this is getting up there, this is actually kind of a hot chick. And what a hot chick is a stock that's actually opening near highs, which, as you can see, day one, this was doing, it's right there, come the open, and then this launches. And then once it's broken, okay, it's broken, but day one is for longs and day two is for shorts, technically. Can you find shorts on day one and can you find longs on day two? Yes, you can. But this is a great way to kind of compartmentalize and categorize trading and make it simple for process to understand. Meaning, I think a lot of new traders should never do a short on day one. They should just build an account on day twos. And that's what, Tom Diesel did. That's what I did back in the beginning. Build an account first, and then you can earn your stripes, so to speak. So the thing about day two and the thing about day one is, especially if you're a short seller, well, it doesn't really matter, long or short, but if you're a short seller and you're looking for outer lines, every type of entry, whether it's from a starter to a scale to an outer line, should start at an exaggerated price point. Meaning, when this stock is super broken day one, we know that going into day two, this is going to be what's called a continuation play, meaning the trend is going to continue down. But while the macro of the 2 days is going down, you need a micro bullish move to an outer line. This is why I always talk about never be a contrarian in the macro. So you don't want to be like, hey, let me look for a really good long and ride this all the way up to highs. That's very macro trend. This thing is broken. But in the micro, it's while this is broken in the macro, I need to wait for a good entry, or I'm just going to be an idiot and stop out and really just have very terrible, entries and terrible process. And it's not going to be easy. So the point is, guys, is macro, don't be a contrarian in the micro every single time, because you wait for a good entry on pops or drops, depending if you're a long or a short. So how did Alex come up with 627? Well, some of the most key things possible is whole and half dollar lines. There's psychological price targets and magnets where people are like, wait a second, I'm not going to get in at 578. I want to get in at 6. I want to get in at 7, maybe 650. People's minds immediately go to these levels. So if it's broken on the way back up, and bear with me, I'm talking to a lot of new traders here, is you have to understand that that is where it's going to be the level of skill. So while starters for Alex might want to be there, he wants to add there, these are the levels that he's super interested in. Are you guys kind of following me? Are you guys getting that? Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Jakey? So the key is where is a good area to draw these lines? Well, like I said, the whole and half dollar marks. And then again, just a general, where is the stock bouncing off a lot and where are the tops? Like, guys, top, from the previous day before, that's a resistance level. That's a resistance level. There's literally like 6 resistance levels within this area. So that there, or this on the way up, like that's a key level right there. These are really key levels on if it goes back up. People who are stuck in these levels where it failed before are going to want out even or for a small loss. So this is the scale zone. Right? I drew, 1, 2, 3, 4, because those are lines where you might want to add or, get more in. But this is the scale area. So anywhere in here, if the stock reaches up, it should very much go down. Now, here's where I need to talk to the new traders. Tosh, why didn't you guys just short at 550 and then cover down here? Because that builds really bad habits, guys. You are going to more often than not get in down here, then get squeezed out, where all the veteran shorts or all the patient shorts are all the guys who actually take this, seriously as a career and not just like a hobby of let me make some quick money. It's always about the art of trading versus the making the money of the trading. So can money be made here? Yes. Is it a good habit to come in confident tomorrow? No, not at all. So that's the thing you have to take into consideration. So it's always like outer lines, guys, or it's always a really good entry first. Now, I will say Bao is a lot more lenient with this, and here's why. So this is a little veteran, but if you want to do it, you can do it. I don't like this personal style for myself, but if this is a top pre-market and this is a top pre-market and this does put in a top, if you are shorting this, risking that, and then using those outer lines, you can definitely do so. Bao does it all the time. I see it all the time. If any type of a top is put in and then he hits that pop back, where did the stock fail before? A good entry point in a stock is where the stock fell before. But if you're wrong, you need to cut it immediately and then actually go where everybody's stuck from day one, which is all in right here, which Alex showed from 6 to 7. Extrapolating that further, and the last thing I want to talk about is pivot points. This is an indicator that is very important, and that's why Alex had a line at 7, is because the closest pivot point, which is a very, very, very important resistance level, was at 702. So you don't always have to wait for the pivot point, guys. The reason why Alex wants 6 through 7 is that is an unbelievably exaggerated gap to a resistance level. There's a lot of volume stuck in here. There's a lot of people stuck in here. So, again, there's no one way to do this. If you just want to be the guy that says, look, I just play, pivot points and they either hit or I don't trade, you can be that guy. I've been that guy. Like, you can do that. But, you're going to have a lot fewer trades. You might be consistent a lot more, but, you might have a lot fewer trades. So, the point is 6 is still a long journey to a resistance line, and 7 is just like, oh my God, if it gets there, now we really love it. You know what I mean? So that's always pay attention to the pivot points as well. All right, moving on. Seco. Let's talk about Seco. Seco is, again, a day 2. So the most important thing you guys can do, guys, is put up like a 30-day chart or a 20-day chart where you can see all the action before, and just make sure, look, this stock is doing nothing. These are days. That's day, that's day, that's day, that's day. Nothing. Boom. Day 1. It's up. What's the catalyst? I don't care right now because I'm on day 2, but it's up. It's up. This stock is in play. So what are we going into day 2? What did I just tell you? I said day 1 is for longs, day 2 is for shorts. Don't be a contrarian in the macro because this thing is super broken, far from highs, but be a micro contrarian. Well, it's not massive. It's not a dead cat bounce, but a nice pop like this, guys, pre-market is the only times ever, because I'm not a pre-market trader, is the only times ever where I actually get a little like, ooh, maybe I should put on some starters pre-market. But the point is, it's back up, whether it's pre-market or not. Usually it's better intraday, but it's back up to resistance lines or areas where volume is stuck. So that's a nice little pop. And sometimes it's a dead cat bounce. That's just not really big enough to call a dead cat bounce, but you guys get the idea. So what did Alex want? 145, 155, 165, and 180 with a 2 stop. So right there. As you guys can see, it would be a long journey to get back up to these levels, and it didn't. So, again, there's no problem missing the trade. And this is kind of like one of them sub pennies, guys. I mean, it's now a sub penny now, but it's just $1 and $2 is not really the thing that we get too excited about. We want like $2 to $7. Like, those are the best. But again, the pattern is still here. Here's a major top, very important. Here's a top. Here's a top. Like, you guys have to pay attention to where these topping levels are, because that's where you're going to navigate and put your lines. And this is where the resistance is. How do we find day ones? So Emmett, day ones are the new catalyst, like I said. So either a scanner if you don't have MIC, but if you do have MIC, it's all in the watch list. So that's why it's so beneficial to join MIC, is we are your scanner. We are your watch list. We are your action. We are your billboard into, hey guys, this is up, this is up, this is up. This is where we have an edge. So, obviously you're not going to know what's really running if you don't have a scanner or Twitter or something to identify that, or MIC. You've got to have, this is why MIC is so beneficial, guys, is you don't need a scanner if you have MIC. Like, save money. We do all this work for you. So, as you can see, this is the skill zones, because this is where all the volume is stuck. Now, can you make money? Again, chasing? Yes, you can. I don't recommend it as it builds bad habits. I'd wait for much better entries. And then again, I would rather have you guys trading 2 to 3 times a week and trading perfectly versus trying to make little money every day and hitting harder on much better setups 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 4 times a week. So obviously, guys, there's like 10,000 runners today. Something is going to hit your lines and be beneficial. So here we go. Now, again, same thing with NFTG. This is like a really, really good lesson today in low hanging. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what, guys? I did want to hold on one second. Before I move on to NFTG, I did want to show you, as I like to for every example, pull up the pivot points just to kind of, give you that extra indication. So pulling up the pivot points on something like Seco, as you guys can see, why did Alex want 145? There's the pivot point. Really, really key level. And then the furthest one was 189. So as you guys can see, where's a good way to get our lines? Well, the pivot points are a major part. All right, now we're going to move on to NFTG. And if you guys want to just start with pivots, you can do that. So let's go to NFTG. Let's put on the pivot points. There's one at 197. Very, very key. Kind of far away, though, because this doesn't have a crazy amount of range, right? So what did Alex want? And let's draw Alex's lines now. He wanted 190, which is where I would have put it, because now you have a line right there. You have a top right there, very key. And it's a 10-cent increment, guys. 197 is kind of awkward. 190 is a long journey back up to like a 10-cent increment on stock that, you know, doesn't really have whole and half dollar numbers so much, right? 2 and 250 is not even seen on the same board. So, you know, of course, 2 is going to be important, but like, my God, you know what I mean? Like 250, you can't even see it in the same screen. So you go by, you know, anywhere from 10 or 20% increments, you know, not necessarily 197 kind of thing. So, but here's the thing. If your lines, whether you write those before you pull up the pivots or you pull up the pivots first, it's just going to be extra confidence measures. So if you like 190 before you see that 197 is there, now you just know that anywhere in this area is major resistance that is probably going to come down if it hits. Again, kind of a dud. The first 3 just didn't really hit outer lines where you want. Let me take off the pivot points and show you guys how we are coming up with these lines. So always want a long journey back up. Where are the tops? Top, top, top. So freaking key. Like this is just one big top, right? Because it's just hit this level so much and failed. This is where a lot of the resistance is stuck. If it gets up to where like 230 or 240, guys, that's so far and blew through so many people that are stuck through here, it probably will just keep going. So obviously you could always find tops if you just were way too liberal with your scales and be like, well, there's 10,000 tops here, and then draw literally every top, and then you're just going to add and add and add. And then that's going to be the stock that blows your account. So you always want to have a plan of attack and follow that plan, not just be super liberal with your idea or your scales, then just go, I'm going to add to infinity. That just makes no sense, because while that strategy, and I used to trade with a trader, I will not name his name, traded with him for years. He was the type of guy where he hit every single pump possible, every single pump, and he added every single pop. So every day his P&L would be 70 grand, 80 grand, plus 200 grand, plus 300 grand, plus 40 grand. And I'd see it and I'd be like, dude, what, you got to be careful, man, because he's just adding blindly on hot chicks on the way up to 7. And then one day something runs and is a black swan and then wipes the last year of his gains out. So like, you guys don't just keep adding forever because you'll always find a top. You always still have to have a plan and take those small cuts when needed. So again, little money, little money, little money, little money forever, instead of like 70,000, 70,000, 70,000, lost 4 million. Like, you don't want to be that guy, right? So, and I say little money, it's all relative, guys. It's like, there's guys making $50 a day, then there's guys making 50,000, and that's small money. I just mean that daily consistent money. So if you're getting in from 190 to 220 and it breaks, cut. You can always reattack with another plan, but follow your plan, man. Follow your plan. It's very key that you follow your plan. A big part of process, guys, is the fact that, hey, I have a plan, I have a process, I'm going to follow that, I'm going to execute on that daily, and I'm not going to deviate, or I'm not going to throw out my plan and now wing it. The guys that wing it have a very hard time in this career because stocks are very temperamental. They're very bipolar. They're very schizophrenic. They're just all over the place if you don't have a plan. But if you have a plan, it's very honestly expected criteria. Stock conforms or it doesn't, and you cut if it doesn't. Simple as that. So you guys get the idea on NFTG. Nothing really hit that was too exciting. So guess what? Moving on. JFAI. JFAI kind of looks like another one of those, very beaten down. Unfortunately, guys, sometimes the more beaten down they are, the less pop that they do. Sometimes that's just the case. So you just don't really get a good entry. But again, we're going to talk about this for the sake of really educating ourselves. Pull back a 30-day chart. This is kind of interesting, right? Day 1, day 2, day 3. This is actually day 4. So here's something about day 1 through 3. Technically speaking, on a runner, Bao has a 3-day rule, which was like his claim to fame in a lot of regards. And day 1, day 2, the major reverse is day 3, usually, if it's the fact that, you know, this thing is still up. So not beaten down like, you know, BFRG, SECO, NFTG, or, GFAI. Like, dude, if day 2 is seriously strong and seriously up, like day 3 is more than likely going to be the day that it gives back, or it's going to wait for a first red day. So you always have to, like, I'll say it like this, guys. You never want to be a big long on day 3 because day 1 is for longs. Day 2 is for technically for shorts on a general scale. Again, I'm talking thousands of examples, not just this. And then day 3 is technically where it really gives back, whether it's just a day 3 in general or it's a day 3 that's up. Day 3 is, you just don't want to be a long on day 3, man. I'm telling you right now. If you missed it on day 1 or day 2, wait for another day 1 or day 2. So day 3 is always a recipe for disaster, especially if it's putting in a top pre-market, which this one was doing, and it was up for 3 days. So when this micro trend pops, this is what happens, and it gets bled off, and then it really gets bled off on day 4. So I'm actually surprised this was on Alex's radar, even being on a day 4. But let's see. Usually the only way to get into something like this is the fact that you're going to want a major dead cat bounce. And that's exactly why Alex did 14, is that would have been a major dead cat bounce from 11s to the 14s. So when something is really, really beaten down, guys, and not really in play anymore, I say this a lot, you need a big bounce. And look at the volatility, man. There was no lack of volatility on this. Like, look at how much volatility. So 14 would have been that dead cat bounce, and then adding up to 15, like that would have been a monster bounce for something so broken. So that's kind of like what Alex was gunning at on GFAI today. And then if I pull up the pivot points, what you guys can kind of see is, again, like I said before, coupling factors. Oh, if these are the 2 lines I'm interested based on $1.50 numbers, there's a 1460 in the middle. Now I'm really confident if it gets these areas, that is an area of a dead cat bounce. If we draw from the volume before, the day before, top, top, and definite top right there. And then just a line that it hit, right there. So this is very, very key, guys. That's the scale zone. Very key, very key. 3 lines to kind of coincide, a couple $1.50 and a solid pivot point. If it gets up to there, it's hammer time, baby. It's hammer time. And that is process. The fact that it didn't, miss it, cry about it, cry over spilled milk, come back tomorrow and hit what works. Again, we're building good habits and the art of trading, and then profits will follow. So, for the traders that are like, hey, let me just rush into everything, good luck. It's a ticking time bomb. You will eventually be smoked. Okay, same with BBAI, guys. Again, back to good habits. What is an outer line? The stock needs to get up to 280, 10% increments. Like I said, when you have a stock that is not, like, I can't even see 3 to 350, you're sometimes going to go by those 10% increments. And again, you always want to use the $1.50 if it's somewhat close. So very key, always paying attention to where are the tops before, major topping point. There's a couple tops in here. And then, some from before that you can pay attention to, but this is the scale zone. So a long journey back up to at least starters, upwards of, the 10% increments into the $1.50. That's your scale zone. Doesn't happen. Super beaten down. A lot of people stuck. It is what it is. Let's pull up really quick. You guys starting to understand this? I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I know we got a lot of new members, and I do talk quick, so I do sympathize. Again, guys, if I pull up the 30-day chart, I would say that this is day 1 probably. So day 1, day 2, day 3. Now we're on day 4. What do you need with day 4? You need dead cat bounce, which would have been that move to 3. Anywhere upwards of like 283 is a real dead cat bounce. When something is so beaten, you need a move, dude. Like, you really, I'll draw it. Like, I didn't mean to start there. Hold on one sec. Guys, you really need this thing to like do something crazy. And if it does, it's going to be met with all of this selling pressure from the day before, because here's what happens. Everybody who bought in here, guys, by the time the market opens right here, they're underwater. So much of trading is going, if I want to be a short, what is going on in the head of a long? What are all of these longs thinking that are, guys, actually, I'll redraw it. Hold on. It's not even right there. It's anybody in the last 2 days, literally over the last 2 days that bought there. What are they doing come the open? They're underwater. They're sunk. They're down on their money. You guys see that? It's top heavy. So when you get a dead cat bounce to this outer line, guys at 275 or guys long at 288 or guys long at 301, guys long at 332 are like, great, this stock is running. I now have a chance to get out at a much smaller loss. I have a chance to get out even. Maybe the 290 guy, if it breaks up upwards of 3, goes, oh my God, I got 290. I actually made some money. Like maybe he made little money, but the point is all these people stuck weighing down like an anchor. This overhead is going to be met with this overhead if it runs into your scale zones, and that's what you wait for. So again, I cannot stress enough. If you are one of those traders that finds yourself before MIC just shorting for the sake of, hey, my thesis is this is broken, it should go lower, and you short everything in the immediate open, and then it does squeeze you out, guys, there's not a process behind that other than the fact that you know the macro trend. Like, let me explain that again. The only thing you really know just randomly shorting today, just randomly shorting, is you know it in your eyes, it should quote unquote go lower because it got smoked before. While that is the first part of understanding trading, welcome to a market or a stock where it doesn't have to behave the way you think it will, and you are going to get obliterated, and you are going to be a passing tale that sailors on ships sing out to sea and call you like a siren song. Guys, you will just be wiped in history. The point about longevity in trading, the point about being here 5, 10, 7, 20, 50 years from now is having a set criteria that says, while I may give into FOMO on BFRG and SECO and NFTG and GFAI and BBAI in inner lines, the guys that wait for outer lines make the money, are concise, build their confidence, and then still have the confidence come in tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, and 10 years and 30 years from now. Am I making that very clear? So again, just because you're a good-looking guy and can go pick up all the girls in the bar doesn't mean you should pick up all the girls in the bar. Does that make sense? Get your worth, so to speak. It's like, I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. I deserve the best. Okay, well, then go get the best. Stop, getting these losers. Like, I'm trying to give you guys analogies that are probably going to make you laugh or smile, but it's the same with trading, guys. If you have a process and you know your worth as a trader, why are you building bad habits chasing dog shit? Travers, I'm unfamiliar with that scenario. You got to get your confidence up, baby. Travers is going to walk into a bar tomorrow and be like, I'm here for everybody. Tosh told me to get my confidence up. All right, moving on, guys, moving on. And here is where we start to get fun, because anything is I love it. So now it's going to start to get fun. While this is a big watch list, guys, watch lists aren't usually this big every single day, but now we have BFRG, SECO, NFTG, GFAI, and BBAI, while nothing yet from there on. And I think there's a screenshot, so I can actually delete. Can I delete? How do I delete again? Or I think I can. Can't you just, oh yeah, cool. I forgot I could do that. So now that we're on soon was one of those ones that built good habits by, yeah, exactly, bro. Here's the thing, guys. I'm getting sidetracked by all your funny comments. What was the plan on SON? A dead cat bounce to outer lines. We got it. So if you have your outer levels and outer fantasy orders, what's a fantasy order? You have limit orders sitting, waiting to get filled. You are going to capture this move versus the guy that waits for it to get there, waits for a confirmation, and then gets in after. It's too late. It's too late, guys. This thing is broken. So let's pull up well, I don't need a 30-day chart, as you guys can see, or I think I'm actually on it. You guys can see nothing, day, bupkis, dog shit, cat shit, hamster shit, nothing. Day one right here, boom, runner. This is what day ones do when they're really establishing price action, price discovery. They run. This is why we say on day one, unless it's unbelievably broken, don't be a short seller. And specifically in zombie hour, boom, day one, day two, this thing is still strong. But actually, if we just do in the micro real quick, what you're going to see, guys, is outer lines on a day two totally worked. You could have made money wrapped up by zombie hour, but that's another, topic of conversation, which I may be throwing the new guys too much too soon. So day one, day two holds up, gets bought up. Day three gives back like it anticipatory does. Expected, completely expected. But what do we need on a day four? A dead cat bounce. I'm screaming you guys how simple process is, and everything that is on example 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we got it. And those are the lines that Alex wanted. You got a dead cat bounce up to resistance levels. What did he want? 280 is where you execute, 290, those increments, and we're stopping at a $1.50 mark because you don't want to, again, guys, you could look, if you wanted to, you could just do lines forever. Oh, there's top. Like I said, this is how you blow up accounts. You don't do lines for it. If you wanted to, you can find 10,000 tops and 10,000 lines. You got to cut it off at a certain point. You see what I'm saying? Because then you're just going to really be, what are you risking? 8-1 sometimes. So you got to keep it smart. These were the levels, and these were the anticipated levels. Awesome freaking job, Steven. I don't know how he's multitasking right now with the meetup stuff, but dude, awesome job, because that's expected, guys. These are the levels that we are going to execute on. Reason why Steven wasn't posting charts in the first 3 or 4 is because he has good habits, guys. He's not hitting the ones that aren't, in play. He's not chasing that shit. He is waiting for these levels. And again, let's go back. Resistance from the day before, very key. And look at how many resistance points, guys, in the last 3 days hit in this level. Very, very key. There's a nice little top right there. So that's the scale zone. It actually dead cat bounced up to that scale zone. Now you're ready. Now you're waiting. You have unbelievable entries and you're covering on the wash, wrapping up by zombie hour just for good metrics. And now you have good habits, good process, and you come in tomorrow. I know what to do. Come in the next day. I know what to do again. Come in the next year, the next 10 years, the next decades, and you still know what to do and you're still confident because you have good habits every single day. I would rather have you trade 2 to 3 times a week and hit hard on a good setup like this versus trying to make little money every single day on bullshit setups. That is one of my taglines. Okay. Sorry, let's just pull up the pivot points as well. Just that extra confirmation to see if they kind of line up. And what a shock. Pivot point. So if you want 280, 290, and 3, the fact that that pivot point is there is just, again, that, dude, that's like that. Here's a good analogy. I always like the bar analogy because a lot of guys in this industry, which are mostly guys, sorry, Tay, sorry, everybody else, there's a lot of guys in this industry. You can relate to these analogies more so than probably anything. This is similar, guys, to if there's a pivot point that already correlates with lines that you already like near it. So 280 and 3 and 290, and there's a pivot point right there. That's like going into the bar and going, this girl that I want to talk to has already been looking me up and down or is already interested in me. Maybe it's your friend's friend. Maybe it's your girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend's mom. She already knows you. She already likes you, and she's ready to go, dude. Just like you should be ready to go on those outer lines. I'm sorry. That was totally kind of inappropriate, but funny at the same time. Mischievous to a slight degree. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, moving on. Now we got a day 1. Interesting, right? Not really. So let's discuss it. Highly anticipated. Tay's like, I'm taking out my AirPods. Screw this guy. Point is, 30-day chart. Nothing, less than nothing. Guys, these are days of trading. This is what a classic, basically, this is a day 1, guys. This stock comes out of nowhere. It's got a catalyst, got a pump. I don't care what it's got. It's up. That's the first thing I care. It's up. That's day 1. So nano float, ignoring the short. There's 2 ways to play this, depending on if you're a normal trader or a crazy bow. There's 2 ways to trade this. I know both. Most traders would say exactly what Alex did. Nano float, 1 to 3 million. I'm not interested. Usually like anything less than $1 million to like maybe 2.5. Super nano. So when you have a nano float, these things can rip on air and really go. Now, there is something to be said, and forget the float for 1 second. Let's just look at the pattern, right? There's a major top pre-market, like a major one. So the fact that it's opening right here with a big top pre-market, if it does get to these outer levels, sometimes, more often than not, it can be worth a stab if it gets there and you're shorting, but you are shorting with the plan of, if it gets this kind of channel, so to speak, right? Like these levels, I'm going to cover on any wash. So it should just generally look like that, guys. Not that it would look exactly like that tick for tick, but that's basically the general flow. Welcome to a channel trading system. So if this is like the top end of the channel, that's like, this is the top end of the channel. This is kind of like the bottom. If it's getting up to the resistance points, I'm going to short and then I'm going to cover, I'm going to short, then I'm going to cover. But just know that again, I'm trying to teach on a general scale and not just this specific example of this is what channel trading can look like versus, hey, LMNL, this one example was a nano float, so don't even touch it, which sometimes you shouldn't. I don't like nano floats personally. If I do trade small caps, I hate nano floats because they can run on nothing. But let's say this was a big float. Now you know where a good entry point would be for a long or a short, knowing because it's already kind of put in those levels. In fact, I would actually adjust the bottom levels slightly because of that base right there. And I would do it like that. So I'd say anything hitting in here, I might be interested in a long for a sell upward or a short right here, you know, because of this top right here and then this major top pre-market, which was the peak, maybe interested in there. And you can even extrapolate that if you want to give ultimate room for the wicks. I don't like playing wicks, but if you guys need to, you need to. So shorts, longs, covers, sell, you know, that's the point, guys. That's the point of a channel move. So just make that very clear. I need to breathe for a second. I forget to breathe talking to you guys. I'm going to knock myself out. Lack of oxygen, man. Jesus. I talk too much. Do I talk too much? You guys sick of me yet? All right, guys. Nerd. Nerd. Thank you, Tay. So there's not much to be said about this, guys. This is a pump and dump gone wrong. Love you too, Tay. This, guys, this is our Mama Tay right here. She's one of the mods. She helps us play. She's kind of HR of MIC. She helps us all function and get along. She's the spirit of MIC. So, you know, I can be business. We can all be crass and sailor mouth. Tay keeps us in line, like kind of like a mother hen. She keeps us on track to be good people, which we would think that's our default, but she just keeps us all in line. This is a random pump, guys. Anything like this that gets slaughtered pre-market like this, as you guys can tell, this is a pump job gone wrong. Somebody pumped it up. There's no liquidity. So I mean, everybody's underwater, you know. God, Alex was actually being like completely man, he was being ballsy with these. I wouldn't hit something this low, this depreciated, but you know, you can exactly, Diego. But you absolutely can. I mean, this thing is broken. So, and just have a plan, guys. Just have a plan. So Alex wanted 350, which hit on this pump job, 370 and 390. I'm way more conservative than Alex on something like this. I would have waited for VWAP, maybe 390. I would have given VWAP to 4, but that's my personal, like I try not to hit anything inner line. I consider this somewhat of an inner line, but it totally worked off to watch this, guys. And this level, it's just so broken, man. It's broken from day 1, it's broken from day 2. But again, guys, sometimes a line is good. Sometimes it's just a comfort level. And I just like outer lines or nothing personally, and like really outer lines, especially on small caps. But you're going to find your flavoring, man. You're going to find your footing. And then we pull up the pivot point, which, like I said, just kind of coincides with a midpoint level at what, 366. Guys, game on. You want to talk to the girl in the bar, she's already been eyeing you. There's your confirmation. That's what I'm saying. So now you should be more confident to approach her and buy her a drink and, you know, comment and be a good guy, right, Tay? Don't be a gamer, dude. Just don't game her. You can be a Twitch streamer, you can be a gamer, but don't game her. Be a good gentleman. No pervs. No pervs. That's what I'm trying to say. No pervs. IMUX, guys, I hate things like this, and I'll tell you why. It's just not up enough. It's not up enough to get excited. There's trades in this, but fuck, man, it's not up enough. What 146 to 208, bleh, no volatility. So if you were to trade something like this, you better be waiting at the outer lines. Technically speaking, what are the outer lines? Right here, because that is a top, coinciding with these tops, coinciding with this little top, and this peak right here. So honestly, there's just nothing to this, but this would have been pretty much the area for scale. As you can see, there's not much range on this, so it's got to get up there. That pretty much would have been, what did Alex say? Might be a nice short if a VWAP projection, patiently waiting for more information after the open. I don't even think Alex touched this if he did. But again, there's no range. So this has got to get some volatility. It's some meat on its bones, so to say. It's got to get some meat. Didn't really have any meat. So just one of them things. All right, all right. I'll save IFRX for the end, guys, because that's the most talked about. But let's pull up CLDX. I love this delete feature, so we can just go through this. All right. Again, day 1 for longs, day 2 for shorts. Simple, didn't hit, but let's pull up the lines for sake of learning. 620, because I'm telling you guys, and believe me when I say this, there are days where every single line hits on all of these. Then you have 8 plays that you can decide from. So, this is just one of those days where a lot of lines didn't hit and you're still building good habits. You'd rather pass than participate. Pivot points. Okay. When pivot points are too low, guys, like I said, they're just a guide. You can still create your own lines at outer levels or whatever would have you. Pivot points are just going to add that extra confirmation. So if a pivot is not anywhere in sight and the next one's way higher, don't fret. Don't worry about it. It's just an extra confidence boost. So if they're not there, you obviously come up with your own lines. And the only, like I've shown you on 10 other examples, how do you come up with lines where the resistance points and where the whole and half dollar levels, which this is very key. Obviously 650 is right within there. So, big top right there. Big top right here. This is volume stuck, guys. These are the peaks. There's 4 really good tops right there. You can even include this one if you want, but there's just a lot of volume stuck right there, and you know that. So if this gets up this area, that's where I'm going to want to scale. That's where I'm going to want to be in, and then this should, just kind of, fall through after that. This one just kind of did what the theme of today was. Nothing really popped to outer lines, and people chased, got rewarded. Unfortunately, building bad habits, but if that was you, just learn from it. And again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you what the best odds of success are. And then, that was the plan, guys, with a 680 stop. Exactly what Alex wanted, just didn't come. Okay, now we have, one sec, IFRX. While it is a day 2, things that run after hours or the midday to after hours, it's weird. They're kind of like a hybrid day 1.5 to a day 2. They're weird. I don't love them because they are sometimes confusing, but here is what you should pay attention to. And I gave this whole description at the beginning of this webinar, but let's go through it again. It runs yesterday at the end of the day. It runs even bigger after hours, and then it doesn't completely tank pre-market, but hold the line. Winter's coming. Hold the line. What was that? In Game of Thrones, I can't remember. I think it was hold the line, right? This thing is not only holding, what is it doing pre-market? It's not obliterated. It's kind of higher lowing, like a little bit, right? Like lower, it's lower high. Sorry. Higher lows. God, I always like this, such a tongue twister. And I know this one kind of drops off, but then it holds. It's kind of ascending in a way, right? So it's something to take into consideration if you zoom out. Higher, low. This one dips a little bit, but then higher, low. But by the time we get to the open, this is very key. This thing, and I do this a lot. Sorry, hold on one second. Sensitive mouse. Okay. Very key right here. I'm going to show you some cool things. One sec. That is the high of pre-market. That is the low at the start of the move. That's 0 to 100% of the move. Correct? You guys following? Stock moves at 205. It hits a high in the 5s. So 5, 30, whatever. You don't have to be an exact same. You guys get the idea. When a stock is opening exactly at highs, expect this to do one of 2 things. Expect it to keep running and blast off and totally do this until until the tides turn, or number 2, a death candle out the gate, which quite happens frequently, a massive stuff that turns into a death candle. So you wait for one of 2 things when this happens as a short seller. If it does death candle out the gate and it does one of these bad boys, then now I can join it on pops. That's what you should be paying attention to. Or if that does not come, what do you need to do? You need to wait for a major top out. I said this was a little stuffy in the beginning of it, guys. I'm not looking for anticipatory confirmations on something so strong. Hot chick over VWAP, this blue line, higher, low, volume coming in. I'm not waiting for anticipatory. That was definitely a head faker right there. But as you can see, wicks are panic. Wicks get, bought back up, and this thing is still holding and strong. I'm waiting for the death candle or the massive stuffer. That's it. Then you can hit pops. This didn't really pop. So you guys think about like scaling something like this. If you do get in, right here, you really got to, scale at least up to the base level. That's kind of like your risk. And then you can cover the washes. And that's exactly what happened here. Now, coming into this, there are red flags through the day that you need to be paying attention to on why this got bought back up. And here, well, I mean, this thing is strong, guys. Like this is quite strong. And this didn't like bleed off as much as it should, given such a big stuff or death candle. This thing just wasn't crazy volatile, right? Sometimes these really decline. This actually kind of held, right? So in the zombie hour, which I'll just draw the indicator of zombie hour, which is right there. The thing about zombie hour is after the first hour of the day, which shorts have an edge, things tend to zombie back. Or they tend to really come back. And this stock really came back. So when you have stock under VWAP and then get a nice inflow of volume, so every single morning, it's just really good idea to draw a line at the 40 to 50% mark of the morning volume like I just did. Guys, the morning is always where the most volume is. And then boom, 40 to 50%. If it starts breaking this line any point midday, you have a very good chance of a squeezer. A stock right back. Stock getting enough momentum, getting enough tailwind, getting the wind in its sails to then be trouble for shorts who are waiting for something to break down here and stay under VWAP for a long period of time. So the point is not only did you have a stock just not careening under VWAP like it should, it's holding. It's again, guys, higher lows. It's very important. Like you guys always need to pay attention to that if you're a short waiting for lower or a long waiting to get in on an entry. And then this candle was really indicative of strength. And it matched up with all of this volume being trouble, dude. I'm telling you, a stock that does not breach this 40%, 50% level midday or end of day usually doesn't come back like this. It just doesn't have the wind in its sails to do that. So when this came back, it's over VWAP again. Now this is trouble. So if we go back to what I said at the beginning of this webinar, I drew a couple lines and I said, if you are a short seller in here at any point in here, any point after this, there's a channel, there's a level, there's a very key level that you want to pay attention to, and it's right here. If you are playing the outermost lines, which if you did feel brave enough to take a short, it's this level, and that's where you can see that. I did it at the beginning of this webinar. So you guys can see how it really found some resistance at this top, this peak right here. And then again, wicks are just panics, so I usually use that as a last resort, but it's still something to pay attention to and consider. But I'm always focused on the bases of the candles because wicks are literally panic and they're indicative of an inverse reaction. So if this was to say a candle here and wick down like this and then get bought back up like this did, so the inverse, then this would be indicative of this really, going back up versus going back down after this stuff, because it's people getting stuck on really, 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 really quick panic. So that's kind of the point there. So, this kind of really found some really good overhead at, what was it? The exact lines, 665 to 725, which I'm sure, I don't know, I haven't seen the charts, but I'm sure Bao was all over this. I'm sure he was, because Bao will attack front side if he's smart for an outer line or an outer channel, and then do what we call front side shorts require front side covers, which is really important. So, something to take into consideration. There's a whole $50 number in there as well as 7. So that's key as well, psychological level. What does this do right now? Don't care. Not interested. Exactly what happens is nobody knows, right? This thing either runs, after hours and makes new highs, or it stays right here, breaks down, and by the morning of the open tomorrow, you use your pivot points, you use your outer lines, and everything that I showed you on this watch list in a nutshell to do that. So, I'm winded, but that's every example today. Hey, Tosh, do you always go over the? Yeah, we do, buddy. Yeah, Grunt. Every single Wednesday we do, unless Bao or Alex come on. Because Bao is usually live trading, and then Alex just every now and then we'll talk about something that's very important of what's going on, like him doing his small account challenge completion. But yes, Grunt, every single week we do this. We tear apart the watch list every single day of what you should be paying attention to, foundations of trading, and just foundations of support and resistance, good entries, risk management, and what it means to build good habits, because I think that that's the most important thing. And, I was never much of a fundamental trader, especially when I was like really doing small caps every single day for years. I was always such a technical trader. And I think so much of foundation of success is in the technicals. Fundamentals are just going to totally help you and give you that extra confidence, kind of like knowing the lines. And then a pivot points adds confidence, but the pivot points are not everything. meaning your lines and your process is everything, but the pivots are going to help, kind of like fundamental analysis. So it's really good to know fundamental analysis. But if you don't have a handle on price action, you guys are doomed. You guys are doomed. You're trying to run before you can even crawl. So it's really key that every single week I make sure you guys are following the steps of, where are good entries, what's good risk management, why do we even do these lines, like what are psychological price levels? And yes, Grunt, we do that every single week, buddy. Let me see if Alex has any time to come in the last 10 minutes, guys. If he doesn't, I'm probably just gonna wrap up. My voice is still hurting me from last week. 1 second. One second. Yeah, sorry guys. Alex just became way too busy today. So no problem there. We might talk about this in the next couple days, but nice, Jeffrey. Yeah. The point is, brother, is like, here's the thing, man. It's like you can start here. I'll say it like this. MIC teaches so many different things, Jeffrey, that like if you want to come in and learn small caps, brother, you can absolutely do so. We've got a room for that. If you want to learn big caps, we got a room for that. So, and we have a bunch of people executing on it daily to teach you. Like I said, Joe Kelly, Oren are teaching big caps. Bao and Alex and a ton of the mods are teaching small caps daily. And then we have back-end help if you guys just need help or you guys need to get on a moderator phone call. So I think MIC has so many resources. Sometimes it can be a little daunting in the beginning of like, oh my God, I have so much help. Like, where do I even start? And that's why the onboarding is so important. So like contacting Steven on sign up and watching these webinars weekly, guys, whether it's just me talking about getting you foundationally correct. And then, James Freelander and Tom Diesel and all of the help that you have at MIC. But I mean, look no further. MIC truly is the Harvard of day trading because all of us have just been doing this so long and have made every wrong move in the book to teach you guys what not to do and how to stay out of trouble. And we're kind of Sailor Mouse, so you just kind of have to deal with that. But we're unpolished, we're raw, and we try to provide as much value weekly as we can. So I hope this webinar was good for you today, guys. I'm just completely winded, and I usually wrap it up a lot earlier than this. This was a long one, but yeah, here every single Wednesday. So we'll do this again next week. We'll do it again. We'll keep the same format, and then because I think you guys like it, and yeah, we'll do it. We'll see if we can get Bao on next week or something. All right, guys. Catch you later. Oh, sorry, guys. If you do want to join MIC, just book a call.